Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Shonen and Chill, hosted by Zenrotto and Asaratha.
You know what I was thinking before we started recording?
What's that?
I was thinking, like, the prospect of saying your full name feels like awkward to me. Like Zenrotto. That's weird.
Yeah,
Just
nobody ever
Zen.
really calls me that. Yeah, nobody really calls me that at all, ever.
It's like I would say that, like, if I was your mom who was mad at you about something.
Just the, I mean, I'm surprised you're not, considering some of the shit that you have to read on this show.
I'm numb. It's fine. Don't worry about it.
You've moved beyond it.
Yeah.
All right. Oh man. All right. Do you want to talk about your graph here that you sent me?
Yeah, so somebody in the Shonen and Chill Discord tipped me off to this Twitter account on Japanese Twitter. Um Basically the way it works is a lot of Japanese fans who read Weekly Shonen Jump, they like to tweet out what their top three was basically because it's also like an official system that Weekly Shonen Jump has for the reader surveys. So technically the chart is like it's not official, but it is containing actual people who did vote. So it's not. I don't think it's entirely useless data. It's something interesting to look at least.
Right. Yeah, I think it's pretty interesting. So this one is like just basically series hype, right? It's like what the people are
Yeah,
fiending for.
at least the people on Twitter maybe on Japanese Twitter. And at the very bottom is Ichinose.
Well, that's not surprising. I mean, realistically, this ending for Ichinose is a cancellation. It's not like,
You think
oh,
so? Because
the
I haven't
story's
read, so I don't know.
over. It got the boot.
Last one is Ichinose. Second to last is Icehead Gill, which I also have never read, so I don't really.
I've never touched it either. Yeah,
Yeah.
there's a couple of gill heads in the Discord, but I don't know. They've never sold it to me in a way that sounded appealing. So.
Third from the bottom is Roboco, I believe.
Which I don't know. That's weird. I always thought Roboco was popular, but maybe it's just like
Maybe it was a bad
by
week.
by comedy series standards. I don't know.
Maybe it was a bad week. Maybe it's not as popular on Twitter as it is with people who vote physically. I'm not sure.
Yeah, maybe.
And then fourth, which I was surprised by, fourth to last is Sakamoto.
That is weird. I mean, I
In
don't see that
fact,
much hype about Sakamoto from most people though.
nobody, nobody, at least on Twitter, put it as their number one favorite of the week either. It's only
Eh,
number two and three. And then fifth to last, we have Kill Blue,
okay.
which since it's this week, I can kind of see it because this week's chapter wasn't that crazy.
Yeah, it was kind of. I mean, still, but it was kind of.
Yeah, then right above Kill Blue's Blue Box. The blues are sticking together. And then we have Witch Watch, which I have no opinion on. Uh, then we have Akane, then Elusive Samurai, which I also have no opinion on. Yozakura, kind of dead center, which I think that's fair. Yeah, I can see
Yeah,
that.
yeah. I think that's reasonable.
Cipher Academy above Yozakura, which I only read some of, and I got very bored of very quickly.
Yeah, well, it turns out a series about Japanese wordplay is not that good when you don't read it in Japanese.
Fair enough. And then above Cipher Academy, Kagurabachi, dude.
Yeah, as it deserves to be higher, but
It's in the top half, which we'll take that.
yeah, we take those. We take those.
Above Kagurabachi is Martial Master, which is surprising considering its poor performance in sales.
I mean, it's a good chapter this week, though.
Yes, it was very good.
Real good chapter this week.
Above that is One Piece. I think that's One Piece. I'm not entirely certain. I don't know what else would be abbreviated 1P. So I mean,
Yeah, that's probably One Piece.
yeah. Above One Piece is Mamayuyu.
Okay,
Apparently Mamayuyu is doing pretty well.
okay. I mean, yeah, that makes sense. It's your Demon Boy series. That makes sense.
Then we have JJK, and then sorry, no, I skipped over one. Above Mamayuyu is Two on Ice. Actually,
Which, oh yeah, that's crazy. I don't know.
that is very surprising.
Yeah.
And then JJK, then MHA, and then now this one really surprised me. Undead Unluck for second, because Undead Unluck does not have the highest sales count.
No, it really doesn't. This was like a big chapter of like
Yeah,
shit's hitting the fan now kind of thing.
I'm still very surprised by it and happy about it. and I'm hoping that the anime effect eventually kicks in because uh, it's being outsold by New A's Exorcist.
Yeah, well,
Speaking of which, number one is New A's Exorcist by a fucking huge margin.
yeah, massive margin by looking at that graph. I mean, this
Yeah.
was an interesting chapter. That one spread
It
pretty good.
was actually, yeah. Okay, I knew you were gonna talk about it because I was gonna talk about it too.
The one good thing, it's done. Yeah,
Yeah,
it was
yeah.
pretty sick.
But yeah, I don't know if we'll talk about it every week, but I feel like having these in our back pocket might be interesting sometimes.
Yeah, it's cool to monitor the trends and see where stuff
Yeah,
is. Rip to Ichinose and probably Icehead Gill.
yeah.
But yeah, that is interesting.
So do you want to give off our top threes for both weeks or just this week?
Let's just do this week and then we'll cover both weeks because
Okay,
it's
okay.
just it's too much to for me to remember as we're going
Fair
through
enough.
this.
Yeah. My top three. My number three is gonna be Mamayuyu. My second is gonna be Kagurabachi, and my first is gonna be Undead Unluck.
Okay, I like that. I think mine is honestly probably pretty similar. I might have well, no, I can't remember the one that I was gonna have at number three instead of Mama Yu. So you know what? We're just gonna say Mama Yu, Kagurabachi. Kagurabachi and
Let's
Undead Unluck were definitely my number one and
go.
two. Oh, it was Martial Master. I had Martial Master at number three.
That's fair. Yeah.
I really liked Martial Master this week. All right, so then we'll just jump in. I gotta scroll way back here. We're gonna start with Two on Ice.
Two on ice. So, I thought it was good. This chapter really felt like the pace was slowing down. Um, I didn't really have much to say about this chapter. I don't think. I think for last week, um, I think it was really really big of her to push away the person that she wants to do pairs with, so that he can make his own decision and figure out if he wants to do pairs after he actually like tries out singles. I thought
Hmm.
that was really cool. Um, yeah, solid chapters. Not my favorite, but I enjoyed them.
Yeah, I thought they were fine. I like the whole bit about how, especially in the most recent chapter, where
Mhm.
he's weaker in singles actually than he is in doubles
Mhm.
because like a lot of his value right now is his ability to like match her.
Yeah.
Um, and so it kind of impacts him when he doesn't have her to lead off of. Um, but it's interesting. I like the character still. It's hard for me to
Mhm.
say that it moves me ever. I'm never
Yeah.
like, oh man, Two on Ice floored me this week. But I like it. I think that our main duo is very cute. I enjoy them.
Yeah. Solid series. And it seems it's doing pretty well.
Glad to hear it. Yeah, I was very surprised to see it so high
Allegedly.
on that list, but you know,
Allegedly, I guess we'll see. Maybe it's
yeah,
a
yeah. I
one-week
guess
thing.
Twitter doesn't necessarily translate to success, but
Yeah, yeah.
still,
Something to keep in mind at least. It's
yeah,
some valid
some
kind of
measure of
stat.
what
Yeah,
the JP community is thinking. Yeah.
yeah.
All right. Next up, we've got Yozakura Family.
Oh my god, man. The aura.
Yeah, it's
The
crazy how enjoyable it is when it's not about toddlers and it's actually about Tayo doing cool stuff.
the aura on Tayo, man. Oh, it just goes to the last arc was very bad, man. Um, it feels like we're back, and also congratulations to Yuzakura family on hitting 200 chapters.
Oh
It's
yeah, it
very
just
cool.
did, didn't it? Yeah,
Yeah.
this is chapter
Uh,
200.
Tayo might be one of the, if not the sauciest main character in Weekly Shonen Jump right now. Um, I also think implementing the concept of using the opposite of your power is really interesting.
Yeah, the whole that he's like gotta soften and harden because
Yeah,
being too hard also makes you brittle. It's pretty
yeah,
cool.
yeah.
Also, it just looks
We're
cool.
back.
The full body like white
Yeah,
looks sick.
yeah. That
Looks really
spread
sick.
of Tayo hitting him, where like there's no background at all. It's just like
Oh yeah,
them.
he's just getting blasted into with the gut punch.
So
Hmm.
cool, man. We're so back.
And I also like the way that it kind of fades out and like his hair
Hmm. Hmm.
recolors and everything when it comes back through. And also the message was pretty sweet. I like
Yeah,
the little message about how he's good enough
yeah.
to be a dad.
I mean, I've even from like the start of the fight, I knew, oh, like we're going in the direction because obviously Tayo's family is not his
Right.
blood family, but how much does that really matter, right? Um, and then there was the bit about how the reporter guy, I don't remember his name, was in love with what's his name? I forgot his name
Okemi.
already. Yes. Which was interesting. I did see some people criticize it in my Discord about how, oh, you introduce, the gay character's love interest and then he's dead.
Yeah, but I wasn't expecting him to
Yeah.
introduce a gay love interest at all. Um,
Yeah, for Weekly Shonen Jump, we take those, alright?
yeah, for Weekly Shonen Jump standards, that's not so bad. It definitely feels a little barrier gaze, but I mean, you know.
It didn't feel especially egregious to me.
No, I
Um,
think that because he's already like one, this is not a major character, so it's not a character we
yeah.
would constantly see very often. Um, and two, because it's like he's already dead. It's not the same as like, oh look, there's a gay couple. Oh, one of them got killed,
Yeah.
like immediately. It's a
I
little bit
saw
different.
I also saw some people say, "Oh, well, it's not barrier gaze because the other guy was straight because he had a daughter," and I was like, "That's not how that works.
Not how that works at all. Yeah, that's not.
Not how that works."
Nope.
Medieval
I
history
mean,
might blow those people's minds.
I don't know what to tell you, buddy. That's just not how that works. But yeah, no,
Realistically, we just don't know.
yeah, it was good though. I enjoyed it. And I thought the backstory wasn't super in depth. It wasn't really super surprising or anything, but it
Mhm,
was
mhm.
I like how it's all like internalized guilt. I like the idea that
Yeah,
he's not just like a crazy weirdo. He's doing
yeah.
all this out of internalized guilt over time that
I
Tayo helps him get past.
I'm just having fun with Yozakura again, and that's all I can ask for in this
Yeah,
life.
and I'm very worried that I'm gonna stop having fun with it as soon as we go back to these children, which is gonna happen very soon.
Don't say that. They're dead.
Listen, man. All
They
right, I
died off
can't.
screen.
Oh man, it's just I don't know. I'm not ready to lose Tayo again so soon. I just got
I
him
know.
back.
We just got him back, and then he does like the raw shit he's ever done in his life.
Yeah, and then he's gonna go back to doing absolutely nothing, and his kids are gonna be like, "All right, let's go on an adventure and meet
Yeah,
another family member to get a stamp."
yeah. So, I'm gonna live in the now, and right now I'm having fun.
Future be damned. That's a later episode's problem.
Yeah, yeah, true.
All right. Next up we got Kill Blue.
Um, Let me check my notes for last chapter quick if I can
Pacifier
find
guy
it.
is
Oh,
back, and he was on the color page. I am in shambles.
yeah. So last week I saw the pacifier guy in this chapter and immediately could tell that somewhere Zenrotto rolled his eyes.
Yeah,
And
dude.
then for this week I said, fuck, where is it? Oh, here it is. First page showed me this was pacifier guy chapter. I knew it was over, and then he didn't appear again. We were back.
Well, he appears for a minute.
Yeah,
He's in it for a bit, but then he goes
and he's
away.
just gone.
So
It just sort of ends.
and see, he goes away, and then we get Tenma right afterwards. So this series was like, listen, I know you're struggling with Pacifier Guy. Here is the much better alternative.
Yeah, I thought the new girl was fun. I thought it was an alright chapter this week. Nothing
Yeah, I
crazy.
thought it was all right. I kind of liked the whole lesson with the. I don't know if this was I guess it's a trans person, which was very shockingly positive rev again from Weekly Shonen Jump. What's happening
Yeah,
there?
the only thing that made me go which is probably more of an indictment on Ogami rather than like the author of the series, is when he called them uncle at first and then corrected himself to aunt. Like at least he corrected himself. I didn't know if it was supposed to be a gag or like what it was supposed to be. Um, it's
It's
Weekly Shonen Jump. You never know, right?
Yeah, I mean, because you could also well, it is Weekly Shonen Jump, so you have no idea
Yeah, yeah,
what you could interpret. But it could also be just a way to advertise to the reader that like
that's true. Yeah,
this is a trans person. It's not like a
that's
cross-dresser.
true.
Um, because he corrects the pronoun usage.
Yeah, yeah.
Um, I get
I
I don't know
I
if
I
uncle is a pronoun,
unfortunately
but still, he corrected himself, which is
yeah. I unfortunately go in with very, very low levels of charitability when it comes to
yeah,
Shonen Jump's
that's completely
representation of
fair. It
yeah.
is Shonen Jump. That's completely fair.
But I
Um,
made it through the chapter and I didn't want to kill myself, so it was good.
yeah, no, it was really good, and I liked the little lesson about you look at me as like the kind of woman that you want to be, but I look at you as the kind of
Hmm.
woman that I wish that I was, and all this kind of stuff. I thought it was just a good like it takes all kinds kind of little lesson there. It was
Yeah,
nice.
yeah,
And the little tiny girl doing strength training exercises is gonna
yeah.
be a funny gag. I'm look that's gonna be a good gag as the
Oh, so
series
much
goes on.
better than anything pacifier related.
Yes, no pacifier related stuff at all. Just
Just
a
don't
little
do
tiny
pacifier
girl
stuff.
lifting the hell out of some weights. I'm all about it.
Just Just don't do any of the pacifier shit and just do the weightlifting shit, and then
Yeah,
we're
just
good.
leave the pacifier guy behind. We don't need him. We don't need him. We don't need him at all. He's gonna come back, and I know
Oh,
it's like Yozakura all over again. It's like we're so back, and now this guy's here again, and I don't know what to do about it. I'm very upset about it. It's back to the shitters.
yeah, it's not great,
It's not great.
but we're chilling for now though.
Yeah, we're all right for right now. All right. Next up, we have Nue's Exorcist.
Do I even have any notes on last week? Let me see.
Spread good. I mean, that's what I got.
Oh, last week I had, oh my goodness, look how awkward Gakuro is in intense situation, haha.
Well,
And
yeah,
then,
yeah.
but then this week, yeah, the spread was hard. I mean, this chapter was honestly fine. I thought it was interesting.
I kind of liked it. Yeah, I mean, the
Yeah.
spread was raw. It definitely like deleted some of the hater out of my bloodstream. The spread was pretty sick. Um, Nue's little plan. I still don't
Mhm.
really know if I fully follow it. I don't really know what her goal is, other than just like I happen to be nice.
Yeah, I
Um,
mean, we just don't know what her ultimate goal is, right?
yeah, not really. Because it still just kind of seems like this thing. Oh, Nue's just a good guy, but I don't know. I feel like that's a
I
very
don't believe
boring way
it.
to take it. Yeah, I
I
feel
don't
like there's
believe
got
it.
to be more to it. Because why would one of those spirits just be like, I'm good actually? Like, I don't
Yeah,
know. There's
like,
got to be something else to it.
yeah. And there's obviously the push for her, like, oh yeah, you guys should just resurrect me first, law. Like, come on.
Yeah, it's just I'm reading it and I'm like, this sounds like a setup.
Mm-hmm.
But then she does the whole thing where it's like, oh, I gave you my name or whatever, so now I'm vulnerable. Like, and I don't
Yeah.
know if that's just a gamble, where she's like, maybe them having that's not enough if she actually turns on them. I don't know. But it definitely sounds like a setup.
She could be feeding misinformation,
Yeah, she could very well, but I feel like
which
they
is a
would
girl
know
boss
that,
maneuver,
but I guess not. I
maybe.
don't know. I don't know.
I mean, didn't she say that like the names were obviously kept close to the chest, so maybe it's just fucking it's really just not even her name.
Well, I assume it is because when she said it, that's when we got the shot of her real form. That's when like it revealed what she actually was, whatever it
Yeah,
was, because we
it could
didn't get to
also
see
be
what
that
it was.
she's like overselling the effectiveness of having the name.
Yeah, that's kind of what my assumption is that like
Yeah.
or maybe it does have an impact and it's just not enough to close the gap between
Yeah,
her
she's
and
just
the other
her.
people. Yeah, she's just her. Hashtag her.
Hmm.
Very possible. I am kind of over the like, if you fail, we're killing this lady that you like. It's kind of exhausting. It happens almost constantly. Um,
Yeah.
but fine, whatever. I don't. I feel like the stake is not needed though. The like,
Hmm.
hey, good luck. If you fail as being the captain, we're gonna kill Nue, so you better do good. It's like, do we need that? Because we're already looking at like catastrophe, world-ending events coming. Do we really need the little stake of like we're gonna kill Nue too if you suck? Haha, loser. Like I don't know that we need that.
What if she
And
just bodies them?
yeah, right.
Which
What
is
if
what-
they just like she just can't kill Nue
yeah.
because Nue seems to be pretty badass. So I don't know. But I do like it. I hope that we learn a little bit more about the plot, and I really hope that the plot is not literally just I'm good actually. I'm just a nice
Yeah.
ghost or whatever the hell
I,
she is.
I would like Gakuro to be more than an obvious like self-insert.
Yeah, I'm getting really sick of Gakuro. He's the worst character in the series, in my opinion.
He's really not good.
Every other character, at least, he feels like he doesn't even really have a personality. I think, which is my problem. Is like there's nothing to him. He's
His
just kind of like
personality
a
is just, oh, I'm so nervous around women.
yeah. I'm
Oh, well,
so nervous and uncomfortable and out of my depth at all
can
times.
I can be trusted with your drink, can I? Like, it's not really that. He's very cookie cutter.
Yeah, cookie cutter's a good way to put it. There's just nothing interesting about him. He's just like he
Hmm.
is, you know? There's just
Hmm.
there's nothing else there. He
He's
just
got
is.
nothing on Ashibi, bro.
No, no, he sure doesn't. Other than a continuing series, I guess.
We'll see about that. Well, pull some strings.
Call up John Shonen Jump, see what we can do about that.
I got one favor from Mr. Jump himself after I tanked MHA's rep, of course.
With the Discord secret society that you've got
Yeah,
going on.
my
Yeah,
secret cabal of people who are all formulating plans to take down
Mis-
Tori at all
Mr.
times.
Jump himself. You got one redeemable favor.
it's it's either that or I bring Gojo back. So I mean, you gotta pick one.
Oh man. All right. Next is Akane Banashi, which
Yep.
I have almost nothing to say about. Um,
These are chapters.
yeah, I don't know. Akane Banashi is really hard series to talk about on here because a lot of shit doesn't happen that much.
And also, it's just you and I just aren't really particularly into it.
Yeah,
I
I
am
mean, like
less
I
into it
thought the
than you are.
gambling chapter, not this most recent one, but the one before it, was pretty neat.
Yeah.
I just kind of like it when characters are fucking around like that.
I
Um,
liked the optimism and the setup around like, oh, there's only four people here. Then Akane was like, oh, there's four people here already. Like that was cute.
yeah, that
That's
was
about
cool.
it.
I like the gag too of the new guy who looks super fucking intense, and he's just like a regular
Oh
dude.
yeah.
I thought that
Yeah.
was pretty funny. He's just got like an crazy, intense looking guy at all times, and yeah, but he's like got people screaming, and all he's doing is like picking some lint off of a guy's shirt. It's like get rid of that.
Yeah.
I thought that was pretty
I'm
funny,
just
but there's just
I'm,
that.
I'm
I don't
not
know.
a
Yeah,
I'm not a Banashi head, unfortunately.
unfortunately not. No, I don't think I am either. But it was fine. They're never offensive. They're just always fun.
Yeah, yeah, it's just not for us.
Yeah.
Which is what we say every week, and we
Yep.
keep
We
saying it every
keep
week.
talking about it. Yeah.
I don't know, like I feel like dropping a series for us is like a condemnation, you know? And I
Yeah,
don't
yeah,
I
like
don't
it's not bad enough to not read. I just don't have anything to say about it ever.
yeah, because like I don't want to drop Akane and then have people like, oh, he hated Akane. I don't hate Akane by any means.
Yeah,
It's just
it just doesn't move
it's
me.
not for me.
Yeah. All right. Next up we have Blue Box.
Um,
I liked it. I thought it was nice when they were playing the little game there and Taiki wins and
yeah.
kind of
So
makes friends with the little brother, sort of ish.
yeah.
They're
So
on at least like good terms now.
last week, I remember noting that Chinatsu was like smiling at the girl getting flustered about being asked if she was Taiki's or if she had a crush on Taiki or whatever.
Hmm.
Um, like I feel like in another manga it would be pretty easy to make her feel like that girl is a threat or whatever. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
But it didn't really seem like it happened all that much. It's just like kind of surface level mild jealousy or whatever. Um, I'm still gonna invest my stocks in the idea that this isn't going to be a one-sided romantic relationship. I think that that girl, who I can't remember the name of, is genuinely just interested in his compassion and competence in badminton.
Yeah, I mean, even if she is interested in him, it doesn't necessarily have to go anywhere, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Um, because I kind of like the little smile of just Shinatsu being like, haha, you also see why he's
Yeah,
awesome,
yeah,
but
exactly, yeah,
he's mine, but you see why he's awesome or whatever. Like taking
yeah,
pride in it almost. And then we kind of get, the reminder at the end where after all that stuff that he goes through in the badminton team, he looks over at her and he's like, ah,
yeah,
I'm soothed, which was cute.
yeah.
The It does feel a little aimless now. Now that we've gotten the confession, it kind of feels like we don't know what we're doing anymore. I gotta say.
I feel like we're kind of just doing some badminton shit, and then maybe we'll get back to the romance subplot, which is very interesting to do considering there was just a confession. But you know what? I'll let it cook.
Yeah, well, it's just that, like, with a romance series, a lot of the time you have the will they, won't they, and then they inevitably they do,
Mhm.
and that's the end, right? And in
Yeah,
this, they're together and it hasn't ended. But the whole aim of the series up to that point was, are they gonna get together and how?
yeah.
So now that they have, we definitely feel a little lost in the sauce. We're just kind of doing stuff.
Have you ever
Uh,
read or watched Kaguya Love is War?
no,
Okay, so I mean, do you care about like a spoiler
I
in the
don't care
series?
at all.
Okay, just making sure.
Close your ears, viewers, if you care about
Yeah.
being spoiled on whatever the hell this is.
Um, so it's kind of the same thing. It's kind of billed as like will they, won't they, but like it's a gag. It's kind of like a comedy series in that they're both trying to extract confessions from each other at all times, and they're both doing like Death Note level fucking mind games to try and get the confession out from one another. Um, and by the around season 3, they actually do get together. Um, and the way the series continues is they continue doing mind games, but to try and like further the relationship the entire time. And
I like that.
I'm not exactly sure what the future for Blue Box is, considering it doesn't have that kind of hook, except for the sports, I guess.
Yeah, which is just weird because the sports were never, like that
Yeah,
big of a focus. So now that we're
yeah,
rolling back into the sports so heavy, it almost feels tonally very different. Like
Hmm.
it really feels like this was just a sports chapter, and then they also had to be like, oh, but he also likes her still. You know, like right at the end.
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
it's cute, but at the same time, it kind of feels like it's struggling more to straddle that line
yeah,
of keeping both the sports and the romance involved. But we'll let it cook. We'll see.
yeah. I'm
I
not
don't
sure
I
what
didn't
the
dislike it or
future.
anything. It's just it
No,
started to feel a
yeah.
little aimless. Is all.
I mean, I don't know. We'll see. That's all I can say.
All right, next we have got Sakamoto Days.
Um, Having Lou be present for the conversation about how they have an extra ticket and deciding on taking someone who isn't there is filthy, especially considering he gets his ass beat the next chapter.
Yeah, he gets completely sidelined almost immediately. Yeah.
Yeah, holy shit. Um, cool chapters. I don't really have much to say besides that though. It's kind of just setting up this massive event that's about to unfold.
Yeah, I mean, I do like that we got the two people back. That they're
Yeah.
like part of the story again. The two captured ones from the exam.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool. I don't know if the guy who's the revenge guy is like gonna go follow the other dude because he recognizes him from working with his dad or what's going on there. Um, but I assume we're about to get some pretty cool action pieces here
Yeah.
because we're gonna be in this crazy museum full of weapons and
Yeah.
stuff. And I
And
really
the
liked the gag of the girl shattering the
yeah.
display case for the teddy bear and being like, "Here you
Yeah, that was good.
go." She's funny. I
Um
like her every time she shows up.
I like the bit at the start about like casually talking about hiring assassins to kill your husband. That's some American
Yeah,
ass
on the
boomer humor.
on the news. Yeah,
That's some American ass boomer humor, dude.
it sure is.
I don't got too much to say other than that.
Yeah, it's very much a setup chapter. Pieces are falling into
Hmm.
place. Cool stuff's about to
Hmm.
happen soon.
Hmm.
I'm looking forward to the cool stuff happening.
Hmm.
All right, next is My Hero Academia.
Next, they were
Hey,
dog
you got
shit.
to
I'm
fulfill your
curious.
side of the bargain with John Jump.
Yeah, they were dog shit. I don't know what else to tell you. They were pretty fucking bad. Um, so these past two chapters have been like 15 pages of reaction shots and spreads, which from an artistic point is obviously impressive, but nothing has happened.
Yeah,
It's very bad.
I do think that Edge Shot Worm is very funny. Um,
Dude, okay.
when he comes out of his chest like a little worm, and he just like
Yeah,
flops on the floor, and he's just like
yeah.
laying there dying as a little worm on the floor. I was like, man, this is pretty funny.
So, um, first things first. Wishing energy, people can stop coping now. That wishing energy isn't a thing in MHA. It just is. If you want something bad enough, it'll just happen. So I guess the heteromorphs were objectively correct in writing. Now everyone has to admit that now because if they all put their hopes into one solitary goal,
That's
they
how it
could have actually
happens.
changed things.
Yeah.
Yeah. So there goes that one for you guys. Secondly, I like how Ed shot his entire thing was like, I'm gonna go in and revive. I'm gonna act as this kid's like heart and lungs. And I'm gonna revive him, and then he didn't. And
Yeah,
then
he failed
Bakugo just
to do
revived
it.
himself.
Yeah, Bakugo's like, fuck it. I'm taking matters into my own hands.
Yeah. So additionally, so this has to mean a few things. One, it has to mean that there was a bead of sweat that was sitting on his body for around 40 minutes, and then it found his way into his probably gaping chest hole, if I had to guess.
Yeah, his
Um,
gigantic wound.
yeah. And then the sweat had to go into his body, into his heart, and then for some reason at that perfect time detonate in his heart. But also, when you die, your cork doesn't work anymore, so it shouldn't have detonated.
Well, maybe it doesn't. Isn't it just like nitroglycerin, but his sweat?
Yeah,
So like, if he produced it
yeah.
already, it should still work, right?
Well, wouldn't twice clones still be existing then?
Ah, I guess that's a good point. But doesn't
But
twice
even
can't twice like turn the clones off though? Can he like be like enough clone?
yeah.
'Cause I would imagine that Bakugo can't like say this is going to be normal
Well,
sweat. This is going to be like I just assume that when
more
he
so,
sweats, he
more
just is
so,
explodable chemical.
more so. What I mean is that his quirk is it's partially the secretion of nitroglycerin, and it's also additionally being able to ignite it. Um,
Oh, see, I thought it was just that he secreted nitroglycerin and then it would explode when he did stuff. Okay.
so that means that for some reason it detonated in his heart, even though he shouldn't have been able to activate his quirk at all.
I don't know. I don't know. I don't know enough about I don't know enough about his quirk to answer that question. All I know is I really hope that somehow Edge Shot Worm survives because it would be really fucking funny. You would never beat any Mickey Mouse allegation ever again if
Yeah,
this little worm of Edge Shot's face is like in the
if
story after this.
the entire trade off is like, oh, doing this is gonna use up my life force, and then he's just like, fine.
He's just well, he's not fine. He's just a little worm, and it's
Oh, you
just
want him to
like
like stay the worm forever?
yeah, he stays the worm. That's all that's left of him is the worm because the rest of him is like suturing up Bakugo, I guess.
If
Uh,
the rest of him is the worm, that is fucking
if
hysterical.
yeah, no, I just want like because the worm breaks off, right? Because like
Yeah,
they
yeah,
were
it just
like
hits the ground and then it just sits
yeah,
there.
and he's just laying there. But All Might's right there. So what if All Might picks up the worm and they go to the Mario hospital and they're like, "I would love you if you were a worm, Edgeshot," and they keep him alive. And then he's just from now on, he's just Edgeshot Worm. Like if in the I want Bakugo to be fighting All for One, and next week I want there to be a panel of All Might with both of his hands cupped, holding up Edgeshot Worm, who is now sitting up and watching the fight. That's what I
He's
need
like,
to happen.
I needed to see little worm Edge shot, just like that one fucked up worm from SpongeBob that was in the wheelchair looking for chocolate.
Yeah, yeah,
I need that to be
exactly.
Edge shot. Dude, we have gotta put Horikoshi in prison. This is insane.
I just want like I really need to juxtapose the ending of the chapter where Uraraka is bleeding to death from like a dinner knife. Like
Yeah.
she gets like a steak knife to the ribs and that's it. And then Edge Shot Worm, and I need Edge Shot Worm to survive. Like I need Edge Shot Worm to be a less serious injury than one stab wound on a woman.
Yeah,
That's what I need.
yeah. I mean, Bakugo got punched so hard, he got ripped through his flesh, his ribs shattered, his lungs collapsed, and his heart exploded, and he's alive. And
Yeah,
Bakugo
he's
got
alive, and I mean
stabbed.
he did get medical attention, but he didn't need a full body blood transfusion.
Yeah, how come he doesn't have blood? It's all gone, right?
Yeah,
Like
it
his,
should all be just on the floor. Yeah, like
his
dude, his heart must be working overtime to keep this body moving. He's
even Edge shot is covered in Bakugo's blood.
yeah, yeah, even Edge Shot Worm is like coated in Bakugo's blood. I don't know, man.
He hits the ground and there's a puddle of Bakugo's blood where Edge shot worm lands.
Yeah, it's just weird because like the whole thing of Toga supposedly die. I guess we don't know if Toga died, but
Yeah,
supposedly is that like she's gonna bleed to death because she's not gonna get medical attention. But
yeah.
Bakugo's been bleeding for like an hour.
It's also a feat of modern, no, like futuristic medical technology that you were like that Edge shot was capable of sewing that hole.
Yeah, that was a really big hole to close
I don't
with
think that's something that you
sutures.
could just close. I don't think that's something you could just
Yeah, that
close.
you can't like sew both halves of your chest together like that. I don't know. I just like it's so weird to me that to see an author be so weirdly specific with it, like, oh,
Yeah.
I have a bubble with me so that I'm sterile, but then also be like, yeah, he's fine.
Yeah, we
After all
just
these
made his hole
horrible wounds, he's
small.
all right.
We just made his hole small. Like, what do you mean?
We just sewed his giant chest
You
gaping hole.
you dumb idiot! An explosion went off in his heart and revived him. Fucking idiot, stupid bastard. Because it's nitro. Dude, there's so many people on Twitter who are like, "Oh my god, but it's nitroglycerin. It's heart medication." I want you to find a corpse and give it nitroglycerin and see what happens. You want to know what's gonna happen?
You
Nothing.
gonna
Nothing
bring
is
it
going to
right
happen.
back? I
Like the
also
amount of coke is
actually
crazy.
I always look through the chapters as we're talking about them again.
Yeah.
I officially am on copium that Edgeshot is going to live.
No, no, it's not. No, yeah, 100%.
I'm actually fairly certain he's going
I
to live.
thought. Sorry, I thought that was a foregone conclusion, so I didn't say anything.
Yeah.
So he's
Well,
gonna
no, well
live.
because before they're like I'm gonna become his life and that's gonna take my
Yeah.
life. But in this chapter, he was like,
He's
this technique is a transformation that eats away at my life force, and at a point I was forced to start weighing my own life against Bakugo's. So he
yeah.
was literally like, I might be okay from this actually.
He's like, you know, this actually wasn't so bad.
This wasn't so bad. I'm just a little worm. I'm just a tired little worm,
Anyone
but
not
I'm
playing
still
with a
alive.
worm? Yeah, man. What's also especially insulting is how we get like the pages of like, oh my god, it's Bakugo, even though like, where was all of the fanfare in universe for Deku fighting Shigaraki? He got
Yeah,
hoed.
yeah. I
Literally,
also like
who
how All Might is like, "Hey, here, have this gauntlet."
doesn't do
This
anything, but you
doesn't
know.
do anything. It'll keep your shredded arm from falling off your body. Go get him, kid.
Yeah, man, this
Hey,
arc
can
is
he
really
sweat
fucking
through
bad.
that?
Probably.
Because he's shooting himself forward through that gauntlet, but like, can he
Yeah,
sweat through that?
he
Also,
probably just can't.
are you fucking telling me that the only piece of the car that survived is a gauntlet that he named after Bakugo? Eat shit. No, it's
The
not.
one kid who died.
Yeah, the one kid who was dead is the gauntlet was more durable than Bakugo's body.
Yeah. Also, it's watching it just like nanotech onto someone. It's like, damn, All Might, you kind of suck when you could have been funding this the entire time and giving
Yeah, fuck
people.
seriously.
All Might have like one of the worst character assassinations in Weekly Shonen Jump's history.
It's impressive. I will say I like the panel where he says, "I wish I could have given you more," and Bakugo kind of gives him that smile. That's
Uh,
cute. That's cute. Because he's like, because he's his whole reason for being a hero. So you can be like, "Oh, you already gave me everything. I already,
yeah.
that's cute." And then it's kind of ruined immediately by like going into this stupid fight with All for One, but it's fine. I also really like the double spread where he's like imagining everyone that's like gotten in his
Yeah.
way, and one of them is just Mineta like sobbing on the floor. What are you talking
couldn't even
about?
put couldn't even put Kirishima up there, bro.
No, but also like all of them are people like actively fighting him, and then one of
Yeah.
them is just Mineta begging him not to steal the dead, like dying Tokoyami's quirk. Like why is that worthy of being in your flashback of how the world is awful for you now? Like, what are you talking
That's
about?
Horikoshi ran out of ideas. He didn't know what else to put there.
Yeah, I just don't get it, man. I really don't get it.
I'm also
Uh,
so tired. I'm so tired of all the flat. Oh my god, Bakugo reminds him of the second user? No fucking shit. We've been shown it like
yeah,
300
yeah,
fucking
well, that's
times.
been happening for ages.
Like, I get it, man. Christ almighty. Yeah, this series is aggressively bad. Um, but it'll be fun to watch AFO get packed at least.
Yeah, I do want to watch him finally lose because I'm
Yeah.
sick of dealing with him.
Didn't think
Sick
it'd
of
be
his
Bakugo, but
existence.
thought Shigaraki killing him would be way better, but I'll let where you cook.
Whatever. Yeah, but Bakugo can do things. I guess I don't know. I don't care. I don't care about
Yeah.
Bakugo. All
Yeah.
right.
Also,
Next.
someone,
Oh,
wait, hang on, I'm
oh
not
yeah. Go
done
ahead.
yet.
No, go ahead. Go. Go.
Someone pointed out to me, last chapter 404. Let me find the page. Hang on. On page 6 of chapter 404, the bottom right panel, you see that Deku's Black Whip gets cut from Shigaraki. And Shigaraki this whole time is just watching. He's
Well, he's
not
just
doing
not
anything.
moving. Like what?
Yes, he's just watching all of this happen. He's just saying you won't make it in time to Deku, even though he's like he can just do something about it. Also, he's not using any quirks. He's not doing anything. He's just sitting there, and he's
It
just like
does feel a
letting.
little bit weird that we finally cut back to Deku versus Shigaraki for it just to be a segue for Bakugo to go to somewhere else and keep
That's
fighting.
because Deku is literally a fucking doormat for every character in the series.
Yeah, it's just kind of like I would like the main character to do stuff. I guess I mean I like Jujutsu Kaisen. I can't really throw too many stones or glass houses, but like, man,
But I mean, you have the same complaint for JJK2 currently, don't you?
yeah,
Like you want
yeah.
him
Like
to do things.
Yuji doing jack shit is very boring.
Yeah,
I don't know. It's just is weird that like they finally brought back the main character fighting the villain after it's been ages. Like it's been a long
yeah.
time. And the only like bit that we get of him is him throwing Bakugo, and then he's back out of the story. Like fuck, man,
Deku arrived what like 366 or something,
somewhere in that
367.
range.
It has been 40 chapters, and Deku has not done anything.
Hasn't really not done a single thing. Yeah, man. Well, it's also a shame because his arrival chapter was very cool.
It
Where he
was
shows
very
up
cool,
on the
yeah.
jets and he like dashes in and everything's
Yeah.
pretty sick.
And they lock eyes, dude. That was crazy.
And then nothing comes of it for
Yeah.
so long.
I don't
Man,
know, man. Deku's kind of a joke.
just a bit. Yeah, I don't really, I don't know.
At least we got Edge Shot Worm.
Dude, Edge Shot Worm is my new favorite character actually.
Yeah, I wish this was an anime form so I could hear like the little slap as he hits the ground. The
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 little
little
plap when he falls on the floor.
yeah. That's what I'm looking forward to in season 7 or 8 or whatever the fuck.
Pretty good, man. I don't know. Yeah, say what you will, but Edge Shotworm, I'm kind of feeling Edge Shotworm.
When this episode airs, I'll clip the Ed shot slap and I'll send it to you.
Please do. We get a little like a GIF of that that I can load up whenever needed.
I mean, the series will be over by then, but we'll have it for as a memento to this moment.
Just to remember back, yeah.
Yeah.
A good old Edge Shotworm. All right. All right. Next up, we've got Jujutsu Kaisen.
Yuji getting a bigger reveal of what his new thing is in the color page because he got POV swapped is so funny to me.
Yeah, like what the fuck? I mean, it looks kind of cool. I mean, I like
Yeah.
it. Um, Hikari looks really funny in that cover page because he's like, why is he so stocky? I know it's
uh,
because his clothes are super baggy, but he just looks like really round.
POV swapping from the main character actually getting to do stuff to Takaba and Kenjaku. That's brutal, man.
Yeah, having a comedy off. And see, the thing is, I don't necessarily think that this was like in in theory, this is fine. Like a silly fight like this,
No, I'm
totally
gonna be
fine.
real with you, man. I enjoy this more than some of the previous chapters.
I liked it more than anything that happened with Kashimo, for sure.
Oh, yeah, yeah, absolutely,
Miles
absolutely.
better than anything that happened with Kashimo.
Yeah.
But we're still kind of in that zone of like, hey, you just killed Satoru Gojo and you just brought
Yeah.
back Yuji Itadori the first time in God only knows how long that Yuji has actually been able to do anything. No
Mhm.
one, zero people were hyped for Kenjaku getting in there. Anyone that says they were excited for Kenjaku to fight Sukuna is a government plant. They're like the Men in Black. Like they're here to wipe your fucking memory. Like there's no one alive that was actually legitimately excited for that fight. And then, but when that was over, we got the domain break. We got Hikari back. We got Yuji. We got fucking Higuruma. And like that was cool. And people were like, oh my god, interesting shit is about to happen. That is
Mhm.
not the time to POV swap away to the comedian fighting Kenjaku. Like it's fine. This fight was cool, and like I like the idea, and I like his power being like that. Is as long as he's feeling cocky, he can do whatever the fuck he wants, basically.
Yeah, yeah.
But like if you break his spirit, then he gets less effective. Like I thought that was cool. Um,
Mhm.
I do am kind of in like I'm trying to think of how to word this. I'm a little annoyed that they were like he's gonna be our trump card, and now he's just getting washed like immediately.
Nah, dude,
Because
it ended on him being sad. He's about to fuck Kenjaku up, dude. Trust.
Yeah, well, yeah, I'm hoping that he's about to turn around and like get his confidence back and start beating
Yeah.
ass. But it was I don't know. Kenjaku is not my favorite. For most like I like actual Geto a lot more than Kenjaku. I don't find
Way
Kenjaku
more.
that
Way
interesting.
more. Yeah.
But he was at least sufficiently freaky in this chapter
Mhm.
because I think a big missed opportunity with Kenjaku is making him feel like a menace.
Mhm.
Like I'm trying to even like when does he even fight? They jump him in Shibuya and they don't get him, which is fine. Like they wouldn't have gotten he's the main fucking bad guy. They're not gonna get him in Shibuya randomly. But it doesn't really do anything. Uraume jumps in then.
Yeah.
He fights Yuki when like he
And then
beats up
he,
Choso, who's way out of Choso's league, and then he fights Yuki and he barely wins by the skin of his ass with a power that
because he
was complete
pulls
bullshit.
anti-gravity out of his ass, right?
Yeah, pulls the
Yeah.
anti-gravity out of his asshole and wins there. But here, when he's like literally just luring people to him to murder them in the creepy woods and like Takaba crawls along and finds the corpse and stuff like that. That
Yeah.
was good villain stuff. That was sufficiently
Yeah.
freaky. Like I liked that. Um,
This would be a good chapter if it was before everything that just happened.
yes, yeah, yeah. Or if this was happening like even parallel to like Gojo Sukuna at the same time, that would be
Yeah,
fine.
true, true, true. Yeah.
That would be cool too. But like after killing Gojo and bringing Yuji back in and being like shit's about to get serious, and then be like actually no, shit's about to get silly is where we're going
Yeah.
next. Was
We're
just
about
a
to get
weird
real weird
time.
with it.
Yeah. Also, I'm very tired of Kenjaku having to explain. I just am doing this because I want to see what happens if I do it. It's like the
Yeah.
fifth time someone's been like, "What's your goal?" And he's like, "I'm just curious." Like I get
I'm
it.
just silly.
I get it. You're just a silly little brain. Like I get
I
it.
was I was lobotomized. That's how I'm so silly and fun.
Yeah, I'm silly and wacky, and I want to see what happens. And it's like the first time he said it, I was like, that's kind of an interesting goal, because it's like
Yeah,
sometimes people just gotta know what happens on the other
yeah.
side of some
It's
shit that you can't
something
possibly
that's
imagine.
something that kind of stands in stark contrast to a lot of other sorcerers and stuff.
Yeah, but they've done it so many times now that it's really lost its like luster. Like I don't care anymore. Every time he says it, I'm like,
Yeah.
Jesus, come on, I don't give a shit. Uh, but yeah, it was fine. It wasn't like I'm ragging on it probably more than it deserves. It was fine. I just am irritated that we got a picture of Yuji's power, but we're not seeing what the fuck it is yet.
Yeah.
I guess he ate the other paintings. He got like a Power Ranger arm. I don't know what that is. I don't know.
He got some of the Iron Might suit.
He got the gauntlet. That's the gauntlet from
Yeah.
Deck from
Yeah, so yeah,
Bakugo.
Bakugo dies, yeah, so he
Yeah,
just gets it
Bakugo
again.
dies, gets the gauntlet. Yeah. All right, all right, all right. Next up is Chainsaw Man.
Oh shit, wait, there's a Chainsaw Man chapter?
Yeah, it's Tuesday.
Wait, does it come out on Tuesdays?
Yeah, comes out. We talked about this.
Did we?
Yeah, I said remember if we're gonna move the recording day to Tuesday, we got to do Chainsaw Man week of because it comes out that morning.
Oh shit.
Oh my God, he didn't read Chainsaw Man. That's all right.
It
You can
didn't
talk
come out
about
last
last week's
Tuesday.
Chainsaw Man. Yeah, talk about last week's Chainsaw Man
Wait, last week's?
or the last time because we're behind a Chainsaw Man chapter in addition to the one that came out today.
Have we not talked about that one?
146? I don't think so. No.
Dude, I'm fucking
Oh no, we did.
tripping.
We did.
We
No, we
did, we
did.
did.
We did. People were complaining last episode that we didn't talk about Chainsaw Man, so I that must have tripped me up.
That's because Chainsaw Man didn't come out
Yeah,
last week.
because it didn't come out. Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh, so that tripped me up. But yeah, there was okay. Well, there
I'm
was a Chainsaw
I'm
Man chapter today. I will
I'm
say
not
I thought
gonna
it was
lie.
pretty good.
I thought that Chainsaw Man was on that odd post whenever the fuck I want schedule.
No, it's Tuesdays. Every other Tuesday.
Damn, I did not know.
Yeah.
I was not a knower.
And my man is in the dirt right now. It's
Yeah,
pretty
I thought it
neat.
was great. Yeah, I thought it was good.
I enjoyed it. There's it's just a lot of action. Like shit's hitting the fan right now.
Mhm.
Um, it was cool watching shit hit the fan. Quan Chi or whatever her name is was doing cool shit. Um, and I like her, so that was neat. Um,
Yeah, I agree.
I don't know. It was basically just a big riot, and they're just like all rioting in the streets and fighting. We'll talk about it more in depth, I guess, next time. But it was fine. I enjoyed it. Still
Yeah,
feels
me
like a
too.
setup chapter. It was weird in that it felt like a setup chapter, even though like the
The
events were
reveal just
happening.
happened.
Yeah,
Yeah.
shit was happening, but it still feels like it's just set up for something to come later. But it was still cool. I enjoyed it. All right, move into the top threes now. We've got it looks like Mamayuyu is the first one.
Um. What? Let me find my thoughts on last week's Mamayuyu. Okay. Um. I am quite happy to trade out that demon kid I forgot the name of with Minerva because I think she's way more fun.
Yeah,
And
yeah, I do like the new girl.
yeah,
I like her power too. Like I think
yeah, it's
the
cool.
because the shadows was kind of like that's kind of a generic E villain power.
Yeah.
It feels like Corleo's power is like healing, healing and generic like I'm super
Hmm.
strong. But having a power that's like diverts your attention with stars and stuff, or like that,
Hmm.
I thought it was cool.
I think she's way more enjoyable than that kid already. Plus, I'm glad that her introduction didn't make the fight a total stomp, but like it still maintained the back and forth nature of it.
Yeah, well, because I like that it seems like she's strong, but her power set sort of makes her a support character
Yeah.
kind of by default. Like she didn't come in and just start blasting, energy beams or
Hmm.
whatever.
Hmm.
So like she can throw hands, but her power is more about like distracting so that other people can do it. And I liked
Yeah.
bringing her out because her power, the what's the girl's name? The one that we don't like.
Alicia or whatever.
Yeah, her. I liked bringing her in just for the big like power blow because she's
Yeah.
not a super great fighter, but she hits really hard.
Hmm.
So I think that like that's kind of a cool combination where you have like the skilled technical fighter whose actual like special ability is not overly strong, and
Hmm.
then the fighter who is not a particularly skilled fighter and just can hit really fucking hard. Working together like that is pretty neat. I
everyone's
also think that the bad
speculation.
guy is kind of creepy. I kind of like
He
him.
is kind of creepy. Yeah, everyone's speculation about this being one big training scheme was correct. Kind of, not in the way that everyone thought it was going to be.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, which is a cool
Um,
subversion. I like that.
yeah. And I also like that we're not getting to the point where it's like, oh, all heroes are good and all demons are bad. Like,
Yeah.
I like that this new demon lord girl is at the very least seems to be like genuinely on their side.
No, yeah, I really hope that she sticks
Yeah.
around. I think she's,
She of every character that we've met so far, she has had the strongest first impression on me, for
yeah,
sure.
I think she's really cool, and I hope she sticks around.
Yeah. And yeah, the villain guy, creepy. I like him and his little creepy little top hat, can't see his
Yeah,
eyes.
I knew
Professor Layton looking ass guy.
I was hoping that he was gonna cook when his presence was there, like on the bench or whatever, a few chapters ago.
Yes,
That
that
was
was
so
super cool
cool.
too.
Yeah, I'm hoping that he maintains his status, and I'm hoping that uh, edgy demon kid is subbed out for Minerva and she sticks around and isn't just here for a couple chapters.
Yeah, yeah. Well, or even like if Edgy Demon Kid, I'm fine with them both being there. I'm not opposed to a team of four, you know.
Fair, yeah.
Um, Edgy Demon Kid can stick around. He can even be kind of a dick. Like he can be kind of waffling on which side he's on. I don't care. But as long as we keep the new girl, that's all I give a shit
Yeah,
about. I really like her. She was cool. Chapter was rad. Like I don't know what else
yeah,
to tell you. Chapter was sick.
yeah. And it
Big
seems
fan.
it's got a good reception too.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of Mamayuyu in general. It's I mean every week I probably look most I don't really look forward to Jujutsu Kaisen anymore, but I probably will once it gets good again. But
If
now it's just more like curiosity as to
yeah,
what's gonna happen than anything. But for like what I'm really looking forward to seeing, I feel like Mama Yu Yu is consistently like one of the ones I grab first now.
yeah, yeah.
Um,
Mamayuyu, Kagurabachi,
yeah, it's
Undead
like
Unluck.
Mama Yu Yu, Kagurabachi, and
It's
UXE for
actually
me. Yeah,
our top three are literally the ones we look forward
pretty
to.
much this week. Yeah, like those are the ones I always go to first. Are those three?
Yeah,
Um,
and MMA of course.
yeah, I don't beeline to MMA. Uh,
Hmm.
I usually just kind of read it as I go through, but I do tend to enjoy it. I don't have anything bad to say about it. I thought it was really sick this week, and that's actually a good segue because
Yes,
that's the next one on the list is Martial Master.
MMA was very good this week.
Was really fucking cool.
Now I'm not a doctor, or nor am I invested really in these kinds of combat sports or whatever. I've seen a lot of people say that he's concussed, obviously because like he's mentioning his dad, right? So something's fucked in his head. Um, so I'm not sure what's about to happen, but damn, it's probably gonna be crazy.
Yeah, it's probably gonna be sick. Um, I like the motivation for the guy. Um,
Yes,
I really like him in general, like the enemy that he's fighting right now. What's his name? Taiga,
yes,
I think.
Tiger, yeah.
Um, yeah, I like him. I like the notion also where his brother was kind of like, well, it's okay if he loses here. Like
Mhm,
where it almost feels like the brother's kind of writing him off. Where the brother's like,
mhm,
well, if you've got to lose, now's the time to do it. And he's
mhm.
kind of like, not like razzing him, but almost sort of giving up on him. And then it's the grandpa that the brother gave up on is the one that
Mhm,
doesn't give
mhm.
up on Asumi, um,
Yeah.
which I like, or Nito, I guess is his name. Um, I like that because the older brother was like, "You're never gonna get strong doing what the old man wants. Like the old man's a fucking idiot." But then when the
Yeah.
minute that he starts losing, the older brother's the one that gives up, and the old man
Yeah.
is not the one that I really enjoyed
Yeah,
that.
and the way it's framed is like the second that his grandpa doesn't give up is the second that like
He
his fist
starts,
moves to
yeah,
hit him straight in the side.
he starts coming right back. Also, really
Yeah.
good, like impact page right there. That shit looks like it fucking
Yes.
hurts. The punch he
Yeah.
takes to the ribs right there.
Yeah. I love both of the inner monologues that both Taiga and Asumi are going through at like the same time pretty much.
Hmm.
Where Taiga is like, "Oh, like your background has kind of led you to get into the sport easily compared to me." And, um like he says, and I've decided on combat sports in order to prove myself. I need to destroy you. And then at the same time, Nito is thinking like, about his reasons compared to Taiga's reasons and stuff like that. And then he's about to drain, and then the grandpa says, "Oh, it's Nito. He'll be fine." And then the fucking side hit, so hard, dude. This chapter was really good.
Yeah, I was a big fan, and it was like I don't even think it needed like a weird hook like it got at the end there, but I think it was
Hmm.
good. Like
Hmm.
I think the fight alone was carrying it just fine, but
Yeah.
the weird little bit where he's like, Oh, it's his dad and his grandpa that he thinks are in his corner right now, which is obviously
Yeah.
like no one knows what's going on. Is an interesting hook, and it may be the segue to how he loses. Like
Yeah.
they might be like, you're fucked up from the hit, and we got to
He
pull
is
you out.
concussed.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
got to throw the towel in or something. And that may be what we're going for. Um, but I'm very interested. The fight's really cool. I'm all
Yeah.
about it. I really enjoyed this week. It was fun the whole time, basically.
MMA is very good, and it's interesting because the sales didn't really say that that was that good, and obviously this chapter was amazing, but like it was solid like upper middle of the pack on the survey for Twitter stuff.
Yeah, it's weird because like you said, I think Volume One came out and didn't move anything
Yeah.
really. Like nothing got too hype from it.
Hmm.
Um, but it was in that exposition, the what do you call it, exhibition thing. Um,
Yeah, the Jump Festa stuff.
yeah, and people are saying like, oh, that doesn't matter. That probably was decided
Yeah.
on before the volume sales came in. Which fine.
Yeah,
Maybe they
true.
see the volume sales and they're like, ah, shit, we regret that or whatever. Um, you know, maybe fine.
Hmm.
Um, but
But even
it's weird because it seems like there's a lot of positive word of mouth around it. I don't know.
I don't know. I feel like you can even without volume sales, you can gauge, especially for Weekly Shonen Jump, who gets weekly reader surveys. You can gauge how well a series is doing even before sales. So I feel like they
Yeah,
at
yeah,
least
I
had to
feel
have
like you
had some
can. It's
confidence
just
in
I
that
guess I
decision.
don't know to the extent that the volume sale is what they're the most worried about, or I don't,
Yeah.
because there's got to be more factors to it than just that.
It
But
clearly has to be because
yeah,
Undead Unluck is not even close to a top seller.
yeah. I mean, I can't imagine that like Yozakura Family particularly sells all that well either.
Yeah. And like they're obviously continuing. They're not at
Yeah,
risk facts. I think it's fine.
yeah. I don't know. I have hopes for Martial Master. I'm a big fan. I
Hmm.
really like it. I know that everyone's got it on their list of like soon to be dead series.
I'm optimistic, man. I don't think so.
I am too. I would like to see it keep going. Because everyone with Shonen Jump, it's inevitable that everyone's kind of got like
Yeah.
not a hit list, but like these are the ones I expect
Yeah.
to fall. And it feels like the
If
top of all those lists are like Ichinose, which you already know is gone.
yeah.
I think it's got like 1 or 2 more weeks. Um, Icehead Gill is at the top of everybody's list, and then it feels like after Icehead Gill, everyone's like it's Martial Master that's gonna go next.
If volume 2 of Martial Master is like a fucking disaster, maybe, but I think it's fine for now.
Yeah, I am high hopes, I'll say, for
Yeah.
this to continue. I hope that it does well. All right. Next we have got Kagurabachi.
Kagurabachi goaded?
This
True, it
series
is.
kind of bangs, dude. Like I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah.
It's kind of sick.
Yeah. I'm not sure how often fiction does this, but like the spin on the I'm gonna show you your trauma that's gonna defeat you, actually giving him like a power up
I
because it
liked
helped
it.
him remember his
Yeah.
origin. That was so raw, dude.
Well, because it kind of everyone kind of makes this. Yeah, the main guy like Chihiro gets a lot of shit for being like super edgy,
Yeah.
which is fine. The main parallel that I always make, because people call him like he's so edgy, it's ridiculous, but it's like you love Naruto and you really like Sasuke Uchiha, and Sasuke's a million times more edgy than this guy. Um, they do kind of the same thing because Sasuke gets that bit where um, Itachi replays his trauma in his head using the
Yeah.
Sharingan, and it like fucks him up, and he like turns him evil basically. Um, and in this one, it kind of plays out the same way, and then he inverts it with like you
You fucked up.
like I was kind of close to giving up, and you reminded me
Yeah.
what my motivation is and why I do what I do.
Yeah. Last week's
I thought it was
chapter in
cool.
particular, yeah, last week's chapter in particular was fucking really good. It subverted the save the kid arc tropes that I know you in particular were worried about. It subverted the psychological damage leads to loss thing. It continues to show that this edgy MC has a lot of kindness in his heart despite his circumstances. Like this, the manga really presented itself as something like almost artificial and edgy in chapter one, but it continues to show that it has something more.
Yeah.
Um, Also, the panel of that war 2 chapters ago was raw as fuck.
Yes.
For this week, I noted that in the last panel of the chapter, he forgot to draw his scar.
Yes.
um,
He did.
very. Other than that, that was a good chapter. Kagurabachi's world is continuing to grow, which is cool. Uh, I think it has really good potential.
Maybe you just can't see it with the way that his hair is sitting.
I mean, the scar extends down to his like lower eye.
Well, yeah, but it's like in a circle around like around the eye. Like it doesn't go over his eye. So it's possible the way that it's cut is it's just
I mean, if you just
you just
look in the
can't see it.
panel top right, the top like to the top right of him, it should be visible there.
Are you talking about the close up of his face?
I'm talking about with the
Oh,
one where
I'm
he says
sorry.
"got it."
I completely stopped at the wrong page. I was looking at page 15. And I was like, "Oh, that's right. That was not the
Oh
last page of the chapter." Yeah, no,
no.
yeah, he completely forgot to do it on page 9. But again, I don't know if he forgot to do it or if it's just like it just feels like a weird thing to forget to do at the last minute.
He probably finished the chapter. He's like, man, fuck this. I'm gonna go play some fucking PlayStation.
Yeah, I guess. I don't know. It was a banger. I really like this week's chapter too.
Yeah.
I
Kagurabachi
enjoy it
good.
like every time. Kagurabachi good. I like the new guy. I like the weirdo like guy.
Yeah.
He like breaks his hand, and then he like makes a he ignores it completely and makes jokes about it. I also
Yeah.
like that they're keeping with the main character can't fight forever, right? Like
Yeah.
he has limits to how much he can handle. Because in the beginning of this chapter, when the enemies are coming to attack him, he's like trembling, trying to like exert enough energy to draw the sword out. Like
Yeah.
the dude is
Yeah.
spent. He is fucking exhausted. And I like that because you don't want your main character to start feeling like the implacable man that can just mow down anyone, no problem.
Mhm. Mhm.
And I also kind of like that we meet these characters that are his superiors, that are like
Mhm.
he's green but he's getting there, like.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I like that he's not like gonna just mow people down. But I like it. Kagurabachi kind of a banger, kind
I
of a
really like
banger.
this series, man. It's actually really fun.
I know, and I'm worried about liking it so much because I know it's doing well, but I'm worried about liking it so much and it's gonna end up getting canceled. But
Yeah, we should be getting volume 1 out in Japan in like a couple weeks, right?
I saw someone say it on Twitter. I think it was like February. They said.
Jesus Christ, really?
Well, because I don't think they
Oh, I
release
guess
Volume 1 the minute that Chapter 7 drops. Like you need to.
no. I think it's like around. I know Martial Masters was around like the 11 to 12
Yeah.
mark.
So I think um, we have a few more weeks of output, and then I don't know how they do things over like
Well,
end of the year.
by the time I think we get to where Martial Master dropped Volume 1, we'll be getting close to the holidays, so they probably might chill out then. Because I know Weekly Shonen Jump takes a couple breaks during the holidays, right?
Yeah, they do. Um,
Yeah.
so that may be it. Yeah, I think someone said it was February, but either way,
Okay.
I look forward to it. I hope it does really well. I'm a big
Yeah.
Kagurabachi guy. Meme it all you want. I don't care. I think it's good.
Oh wait, before we end it for the section though, I should look at it on Manga Plus to see how it's fair.
Yeah, I guess you should. Yeah, for the new
It's
week.
still number 3.
Let's go. Goated.
Uh, it's got 731,000 whatever the fuck metric they use to keep track, and then it's like 100,000 behind JJK now.
That's okay. That's fine.
So there's definitely some of like the meme hype wearing off, but I still think it's holding its own pretty
Yeah,
well.
I mean, even with you got the meme hype wearing off, like number 3 behind
Yeah.
JJK and One Piece is like
I mean,
not.
you have to realize the meme was almost 2 months ago now,
Yeah, the
or
meme
it
was
was two
not
months
only
ago
a
now.
while ago, um, but like if people were obviously like, haha, this is a stupid meme, they wouldn't still be reading it.
Exactly,
You know?
exactly.
Like, no
Because
one's
memes
reading
die fast
7
on the internet,
chapters
man.
in for the meme.
Memes die on the internet pretty fast, man. Like
Yeah.
people probably stopped keeping up with the 2 chapters in if it was just for the meme.
Yeah, I haven't seen a haha Kagurabachi guy drawing a sword meme in like
Yeah,
in
yeah,
weeks.
yeah. It
Uh,
died pretty quick.
yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I'm looking forward to the future of this and Mamayuyu running at the same
Yeah,
time.
it's
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 rare
doing
that some
solid.
new stuff drops and you're looking at like these are going to be magazine carriers in a few years. Like
Yeah, and Mamayuyu on Manga Plus is at 19.
that's
That's
good. Still good.
that's good.
Yeah, still really good.
Um, I think with Kagurabachi and Mamayuyu's placement in that survey, which obviously, as we've said multiple times, is not indicative of everything. I think it is a solid metric, though. Um, and its overseas hype for Kagurabachi in particular, I think it's got a future.
Yeah, I hope so. I will hesitate to say too much because again, I don't want to whatever, monster ruins everything for me that killed Phantom Seer. I don't want to invoke its wrath again, but I have high hopes. I have high hopes. And then last but not least, we have Undead Unluck.
Dude,
Banger. Banger
pretty
chapter.
two bangers in my opinion.
Mm-hmm. Andy coming back and
Her
throwing
yeah,
hands
like
for just a minute. So
her
banger.
her explicitly like thinking about Andy, and then like thinking her hair gets cut in that chapter, and then he just appears.
Yep.
So cool. Um, there was a lot of discussion about how she couldn't find Andy anywhere in the world, and my initial thought is, what if he was on the fucking moon?
Yeah, maybe.
I think that'd be really funny. Um,
Or he's in like whatever this other alternate dimension that she just jumped into, the
yeah, that
opposite
that
side of
could
the
be
world.
that
Yeah.
could be the thing now too, considering that just happened. But
Yeah.
I also saw someone point out something that I didn't notice, is that since that we now know that she has not found any trace of Andy in this loop at all, her turning down the quest reward that was Andy's location is a lot more sweet.
Yes.
I really like that. That's a really, really
And I
good
also like,
recontextualization.
the last little bit of his appearance here when he runs out of time and he gets vaporized by the comet.
Hmm.
Um, because obviously her power, the more she likes you, the more impactful the power is.
Yeah.
And when she swats his hand and it creates like a fucking ungodly huge comet, I thought was really cute. I
Yeah.
thought that was very sweet.
It was really nice to see Andy again, even if it's only temporary. Um, Seeing Fuko in these chapters and then going back and then watching like the anime, because obviously it's still at the very beginning. It's crazy, dude.
Oh, like the difference? Oh, I know.
Yeah, she
It's
is just a
insane.
different,
The
completely
fact
different
that she
person.
literally just runs in and leaps into the fucking
Yeah.
void where all the enemies are right now.
Yeah.
And not only is it all of their enemies, but like all of them are stronger than the one they just barely beat. Because you can see
Yeah.
Sick split in half at number 10 at the table.
Hmm. Yeah,
And number
dude.
one at the table kind of looks like Andy with his hair down. Um,
Wait, let me zoom in.
if you look at him, he's just got like short silver
Uh,
hair down over his eye. I doubt
I'm
it's
not
Andy,
gonna.
but I'm just saying that he
I'm
looks
not gonna.
very
Yeah,
similar to him.
it looks like a lot of Undead Unluck characters.
That's true. Yeah, it could definitely look like adult Rip too.
Yeah.
Um,
Um, this to me, I wonder if this. I don't know if you'd agree. This feels like this series is gonna be around for a while.
yeah, I feel like a lot of the worry, even I had it too, was that we were reaching the point where like
Yes.
what do
Yes.
we do now? Like,
Like we
oh, we're
looped and
gathering
we're yeah.
everyone up, we've got like the squad, we're kind of at the point now where
Mm-hmm.
the ending has
Mm-hmm.
to be soon. This definitely feels like, oh, we've just hit like the next like
We're
chapter.
gonna be here a while, and I
Yeah,
hope so
we've got
because
shit
Undead
to do
Unluck,
now. Yeah. Because not
Undead
only did we
Unluck,
just
so
beat Sick,
good.
but Sick's not even gone. He's just at his
Yeah.
chair right here. So there's
Yeah, he's
definitely more
chilling.
to it. Yeah, than just this. It's
I
so good,
need
man. It's so good.
yeah, I need Undead Unluck to stick around for a long time.
Yeah, please just don't end. Just keep doing this. If you keep releasing chapters this good on a regular basis, like you keep going, man. As long as you want.
Yeah.
I don't care.
Oh, I'm excited. We got some good stuff cooking in the magazine right now, man.
Yeah, I know. It was like I went from almost doom posting about it to now we've got like Undead Unluck still banger. We've got
Yeah.
Kagurabachi, we got Mamayuyu, we got Martial Master. Like shit's
Yeah,
good.
Kill Blue.
Magazine good. Kill Blue, yeah.
Honestly, I think I like all this new stuff more than Kill Blue right now.
I kind of think so too.
Yeah. And Yozakura's coming back too. Yozakura stopped being ass.
I will not co-sign that with you. I don't think it's back. I think we have been
Hey,
teased and we will go right back to the children. I refuse to get my hopes up.
well, I've never been wrong in my life, so it's fine.
I refuse to get my hopes up. I'll tell you that. But all right. I guess that's an episode in the books, everybody. Thank you for tuning in. Oh, I just realized the background for this got fucked up halfway through the episode. I'll fix it right now for the
Wait.
last 2 seconds. But here you go.
Uh-oh.
Uh, it just got lowered a little bit. It's fine.
Uh-oh. It
But
wasn't me.
no, it's not like ruined or it just got slightly off center. Uh,
Everyone, every time you guys are upset with the podcast, make sure you go into the Shonen and Chill Discord and add Zen and say that he fucked up. It's never mind. Nothing. I've never done anything wrong. I'm chilling. He actually
uh,
like feeds me lines and stuff. So
yeah, I write the script for both of us. Yeah,
yeah,
that's true.
yeah. That's why these episodes take so long to get out. Sometimes is because we're working on the script.
I gotta rewrite the script for the next week before. Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, and happy Halloween to people who are viewing this, even though you're gonna
Oh
be viewing this
shit.
after Halloween. It's
Yeah, it's gonna be on
technically Halloween.
Saturday.
Yeah, you're not gonna see this, but it's gonna be November by the time you see this. But happy Halloween.
Yeah.
And all right, I'm clicking the button.